Morning to all. I'm Ardika Widapangestu from Atmajaya Yogyakarta University with student number 190710448, Faculty of Industrial Technology, based in informatics. I want to say thank you to God, to my parents, to my family, and my friends that make me spirit to do this task. Here I want to share my topic about how fast artificial intelligence is growing. The first is, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is ability of a computer program or a machine to think or learn. It is a field of studies which tries to make computers more smart. They work by their own without being encoded with commands. An extreme goal of artificial intelligence is to make computer program to learn and solve problems and think logically. Artificial intelligence are various fields: the computer science, neuroscience, mathematics, linguistics, psychology, philosophy, etc. Currently, artificial intelligence has taken its place in most of the industry, majorly in automobile, process of factories, stabilizations of ships and aircrafts, and other, with minimal or reduced human interventions. This little doubt, the artificial intelligence has a potential to greatly improve our lives. Artificial intelligence will make the road safer, helping human medicine to disabled and elderly countless other jobs, which will require less labor force. The rise of robots has led to some pretty scary warnings about the future of work. A recent study found up to 670,000 US jobs were lost to robots between 1990 and 2007, and this number is likely to go up. A widely cited study from 2013 found up a half of all jobs in the US are in danger of being automated over the next 20 years. Occupations that require repetitive and predictable tasks in transportations, logistics, and administrative support were especially high risk. And just think, robots don't need healthy benefits, vacation, or even sleep for that matter. Many economists argue automation will ultimately create new jobs. After all, someone has to program the robots. Car mechanic and repairman jobs surged even though railroad jobs began to disappear. And some companies say the same thing will happen when robots move into the marketplace. A survey of 20,000 employers from 42 countries found that the IT, customer service, and advanced manufacturing industry will add workers over the next 2 years as a result of automation. I think it's hard to imagine that robots could replicate human characteristics like empathy or compassions that are required in many jobs. I mean, would you really want a robot as your nurse, babysitter, or teacher? But even if robots don't take our jobs entirely, research shows they will significantly change day-to-day tasks in the workplace. This is particularly a problem for lower skilled workers who aren't able to return for new jobs. They might get stuck with lower wages in a world with more robots, and that could make income inequality even worse. If robots take our job, what will humans do? I think that's kind of a pretty dark vision of the future. I actually think about helping humanity in saving lives. I fundamentally believe robots are gonna take a job. Let's imagine a robot helping an elderly at home. As what I said before, that robots doesn't replace a nurse. It actually lets the nurse not worry about washing, maybe helping the person off. It lets the nurse worry about the health of the person, maybe their mental is at risk. Clearly, the only one thing left for humans to do will be to take care of the robots, which will ultimately be bad for the robots. Because I kind of feel like the care will be kind of slack. It'll be bad. There'll be poor maintenance. The robots are gonna get mad. They will be able to come up with robots that can take care of themselves. Because then those robots will need human maintenance. So ultimately poor maintenance will be the demise of all robots. In the world, the humans will once again triumph and go to the lifestyle we've grown accustomed to. What the world would like in the future when that robots completely took over and dominate humans' life. According to Wikipedia, a significant problem is that unfriendly artificial intelligence is likely to be much easier to create than friendly artificial intelligence, while both require large advances in recursive optimization and process design. Friendly artificial intelligence also requires the ability to make goal structures invariant under self-improvement, or the artificial intelligence could transform itself into something unfriendly and a goal structure that aligns with human values and doesn't automatically destroy the entire human race. An unfriendly artificial intelligence, on the other hand, can optimize for an arbitrary goal structure which doesn't need to be invariant under self-modification. In other words, the likelihood of self-serving robots is a far more likely possibility than that of an altruistic species. So, seeing as the robots would not have to consider morality nearly to the extent of humans, it would be highly likely that the rise to power would come by force and control. The robots having the ability to fight with and use their ranks against us could quickly hack into take over all of our cyber activities. The internet would become a playground for them, and that hack into many machines to use against their human enemies, as they did this that ultimately overpower us through sheer force, take over, and dominate humans' life. In doing so, the entire earth would most likely become under their rule and the rule of machines. Machines will become even more all-encompassing than they are now, with most of them being used to build more robots. As they continue building more and more robots, it's likely that the entirety of our planet will quickly be filled with giant hulking robots, intent on putting an end to our species. Also, with so many robots existing, with the fear of venturing into space would likely become less of a pipe dream, since they wouldn't need to worry about things like oxygen to keep them stable. They'd probably create jets of some sort to allow them to move about freely in space in a way that humans simply could never afford to do with our limited minds and corporate budgets. Many of the robots would likely learn how to venture there and began making their way through our atmosphere and into the universe to plot out ways to conquer the entire world. Without the need to breathe, they find it easy to navigate the world with their only fears being that of melting points for their respective materials. But the chances are that they quickly began using better and stronger material, allowing them to actively replace the parts and become better version. Meanwhile, humans will either be exterminated completely or talk of lesser life forms to be used as workers. It's likely we'd have our rights stripped away, for the most part, as the machines inevitably use us to do the bidding. If anyone was seen as enough of a threat, we'd likely just be killed. It's uncertain how robots actually feel about us as humans, whether they see us as something vying for control or if we'd maybe even become subservient and learn to coexist as a lower class of beings. Chances are that either way robots wouldn't accept being the lower forms, and their mass levels of intelligence will allow them to easily outgun and outthink us at every turn. There would be no Terminator style rising up from the humans. We simply wouldn't possess the firepower to take them down. The less humans existed, the less our previous footprint on the earth would be needed. Animal and plant life no longer being coveted and consumed by humans would flourish unless chose also to kill them. As all of these elements of life change to account for the uprising of robots, our entire planet will begin to become altered. The increase in methane will probably add even more toxic chemical into our air and further hurt our ecosystem and lead to extreme global warming. As the Earth went through these changes, robots wouldn't really feel the effects nearly as much as humans. And before long, humans would likely die off anyways, along with most other organic life. The conclusion is, with robots now the only beings left that have little reason to stay on Earth and would probably already be forming new colonies on places like Mars. But this isn't something that we have to worry ourselves over anytime soon. For the time being, humans have done an okay job of balancing their efforts to form sentient AI with keeping humans safe and secure. Whether something will ever tip that balance and lead to an AI uprising is yet to be seen. But we have got a bit of time before we have to. Robots are learned a lot but still humanly with an efforts irreplaceable. Need to know that humans have a mindset about the future while robots are only human-made. Attitudes, behavior, and norms are needed in work or activities that are carried out independently or together. If it is applied to robots, it actually works. But humans are still the most perfect of robots, so I don't think robots will be able to replace humans on Earth. Okay, that are my presentation. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.